Hi everybody, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be tying the Wicked White Diawl Bach. It's a bit of a change to a standard Diawl Bach in that we've sort of darkened it off, I suppose. As a result, this fly is very good at beginning part of the season up until May, I suppose, and possibly into June depending on the weather, and of course in deeper water. I'll just run through the materials that are required. Hook sizes 10s and 12s. The tail is black hackle fibres. Body is dyed black peacock herl. The rib is fine silver wire. Throat hackle is black hackle fibres, and the cheeks are white goose biots. So let's get that changed out, and we can start tying. The hook I've got in the vise is a Camasan B170. You can use a hook that you prefer, that's absolutely fine. Don't be a slave to the dressing, use what you've got to hand. So all I'm going to do is take the tying silk down to a point just before the hook point, and the whole idea of tying it short is that it makes the fly look smaller, I suppose. First material to go in is black hackle fibres, and although they're the same length as the shank, we'll tend to tie them a little shorter to make the overall size of the fly quite short. Don't worry if they flare up. And once they're in, take the waist in open turns all the way back up to the eye, and then on the way down, what we're going to do, I'll sort out those hackle fibres, there you go. What you're going to do is you're going to tie in some fine silver wire, just position that, and then once again in close touching turns back down to a tail. Alright, so many of you, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know I only use a single strand of peacock herl, and in this instance it's black peacock herl, and I tie it in by the tip because I want the herl to flare off the quill, but it tends to be quite fragile, so what I'll do is I'll pull it until it doesn't snap again. Tie that in. Yeah, coming back to tying in by the tips, it can be fragile, so what you need to do is really take the tip off until it stops snapping and then tie in. So once that's tied in, just wind that herl up the hook shank in close touching turns. Oops. There we go. So that quill must have been compromised somewhere along the line. But it's good to see mistakes and how to resolve them, so all I'm doing is just winding back down. I've got another one here. Once again, just to prep it, pull, 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 and there we go. There we go. Right, so it's just about there. Shorten that working length and tie that in and return the tying silk back to the eye. I'll be a bit more careful this time. So just putting my finger on there to support it while I reposition the herl, and once I get close to the eye, just lock it in, push it back and sweep the fibres backwards and then hold the tie-in silk tight and twist off. Right, so I'm going to take 5 or 6 turns of this in the same direction as I tied in the herl. I'm not going to counter it because I want this to actually disappear into the dressing and just give an impression of ribbing. Once again, a couple of turns and return the tie-in silk, and then just helicopter that off. Finally, well, not finally, but we're getting near to completion now. Bunch of cock hackle fibres in black. Just lift that up, take a couple of turns backwards and cut off the waste. If I can stop stabbing myself. Yeah, and just check those fibres to see where they're positioned. A little bit over. Okay, repositioned there now, and there we are. So we get in there. So you could actually finish the fly off here and use this as just a black diawl Bach. But the whole idea of it is this wicked white, and as a result what we're going to do is we're going to tie in some black, some white goose biots, and once they're positioned, I think the far side is dropped slightly. Let me just check that. Yeah, it has. So I'm going to lift that back up. There we go. So once they are positioned, a couple of turns, and I prefer to snip mine off because otherwise on occasion I've had the actual goose biot itself come out, so I'll just snip those and then form a nice head. There we go, before whip finishing. So a couple of turns of the whip finisher and that's fine. Now once I've taken that off, what I'll do is I'll just find out where the second wrap of tinsel is, come in with my scissors, snip off and do the same on the other side. Just rub that down there. So finally then, a little bit of resin. Use a dubbing needle to spread that around, and then UV torch just to set it off. There you go, the Wicked White Diawl Bach. So if you do decide to tie these, let me know how you get on, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.